Hello basketball fans, it's great to see you again. And with the new season about to start, we invite you to remember the 10 most epic moments in basketball history. Number 10. Julius Erving's baseline soar. Game 4 of the 1980 Finals. Dr. J's flight has long been a symbol of the NBA, a symbol of unpredictability, phenomenal physical abilities, extraordinary emotions, and an everlasting sense of wonder. In the fourth quarter of Game 4, when the Sixers were trailing 1-2 in the series, the leader of the Philly team made a classic move and helped his team secure a victory. Dr. J drove baseline, soared into the air as if he's going behind the backboard, but somehow appeared on the opposite side and sent the ball into the hoop with a circus shot. In the 1988 Finals, the Bad Boys of Detroit faced off against the Los Angeles Lakers. What stands out is Game 6 when Isaiah Thomas delivered a phenomenal performance while essentially playing on one leg due to an ankle injury. He managed to score 43 points, including 25 in the third quarter, and added 8 assists. It showcased just how badly the Pistons needed that win. Despite Thomas's awe-inspiring performance, the Lakers won the game and secured yet another championship. The Pistons had to wait for another season. The refereeing in the 2006 NBA Finals may not have been perfect, but it would be strange to fault Dwayne Wade for seizing the moment. Dirk Nowitzki was expected to be the star of the finals, but he solidified his reputation as a choker. Meanwhile, the 2003 draft pick drew comparisons to the best and foreshadowed the future showdown between Wade and LeBron. Ralph Sampson's shot, or rather touch, epitomizes the spirit of basketball. With 1 second left, Rodney McRae passed the ball to the center, who was facing away from the basket. He caught it in midair, turned around, and sent the ball to the front rim. It hung intriguingly in the air, landed on the back rim, and bounced straight into the hoop, securing the Houston Rockets' victory in Game 5 and a spot in the NBA Finals. This marked the end of the Los Angeles Lakers' 4-year dominance in the Western Conference. In the 1985-86 season, Michael Jordan missed almost the entire season, playing only 18 games due to a broken foot. Despite medical advice, the determined young man rushed his return to help his team in the playoffs. In the first round, the Chicago Bulls faced the Boston Celtics. Over time, the audience's attention gradually shifted to the lone hero trying to do the impossible. The Celtics eventually won in double overtime, 135-131, but Jordan's record-breaking 63 points still stand to this day. Game 5 of the 1987 Eastern Finals. In 1987, the Boston Celtics were on the brink of losing Game 5 in the Eastern Finals against the Detroit Pistons. However, they didn't wait for Game 6 to decide their fate and instead relied on a bit of Irish luck. The Pistons were leading by 1 point and the ball was with Isaiah Thomas on the sideline, tasked with making the inbound pass. Bird intercepted a fleeting glance between Thomas and Bill Laimbeer, managed to not fall for the fakeout, turned around and found Dennis Johnson sprinting to the basket with a pass. DJ, who had long-awaited recognition, delivered something incredible under the hoop and justified Bird's trust, securing the victory with a score of 108-107. The Celtics shook off the cobwebs and found their way to the finals in a 7-game series. This marked the 4th consecutive year for the Celtics. Whether Willis Reed would step onto the court in Game 7 of the 1970 Finals remained the biggest mystery until the last moment. The New York Knicks captain had torn a muscle in his right thigh in Game 5 and missed Game 6. During pre-game warm-ups, Reed was nowhere to be seen, and he was trying to achieve the desired effect until the last moment. He appeared seconds before the tip-off, deciding to play the decisive game on painkillers. The thunderous welcome he received at Madison Square Garden was overshadowed by the near-fainting reaction of the Los Angeles Lakers players. They stopped their warm-up and froze on the court upon seeing a man who, despite the pain, stepped onto the court for a chance to win the championship. Reed tussled with Wilt Chamberlain for the opening tip and scored the Knicks' first 2 points. That was essentially all he did, but his presence alone inspired his teammates and demoralized his opponents, leading to an easy victory for the Knicks on their home court. Magic Johnson's first season in the league was both mesmerizing and lengthy. It all began with the amazement of the possibility of playing alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic stepped in for Kareem during Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers when the center injured his ankle by stepping on Lionel Hollins. In the third quarter, the young point guard scored 6 points and dished out 1 assist, putting the Lakers ahead by 8 points at the end of the period. The game ended with a famous moment when Kareem, back on the court, made a game-winning skyhook with 33 seconds left. However, Kareem couldn't participate in the following game, and Paul Westhead made an unprecedented move, using Magic in place of the injured center. It proved fatal for the Sixers. Playing as a guard, forward, and center throughout the game, Magic scored 42 points, including all 14 of his free throws, grabbed 15 rebounds, dished out 6 assists, and made 3 steals. In the closing moments of Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, everyone in the Delta Center knew what was coming next, and no one, including the Utah Jazz's coach and players, could prevent it. The Chicago Bulls didn't bother with screens, elaborate plays, or trickery. Their plan was simple: give the ball to number 23 and get out of the way. And it worked like a charm. As the final buzzer approached, Michael Jordan became increasingly unstoppable. In the last minute, with the Bulls trailing by 3 points, Jordan first scored quickly in a fast break, then stripped the ball from Karl Malone and sank the game-winning shot with 5.2 seconds left, giving the Bulls the victory with a score of 87-86 and their 6th championship in 8 years. Jordan scored 45 points, making 15 out of the 35 field goals, 12 out of 15 free throws, and 16 points in the fourth quarter, including the last 8 points in the final 2 minutes and 6 seconds, a sweet cherry on top. One of the greatest finals series in history was nearing its climax in the closing moments of Game 6. Every possession seemed to be etched into the annals of history, an unforgettable atmosphere of a classic playing out before your eyes. The basketball players didn't seem to be playing, it was as if they were executing a long-conceived and brilliant script. By the final minutes, it seemed all but decided. Ushers were surrounding the court with yellow tape, the Larry O'Brien Trophy had made an appearance, half of the Miami Heat's fans had gone home, and LeBron James' historical legacy was in doubt. But the script was indeed brilliant. The San Antonio Spurs squandered several chances and missed free throws. The Miami Heat, though they didn't believe in a comeback, kept playing on autopilot. LeBron James' desperation was evident in his shot selection. He made one three-pointer, then heaved up another without much hope, and then several unforeseen circumstances converged. Greg Popovich took Tim Duncan off the floor. Chris Bosh grabbed a critical rebound and kicked it out to Ray Allen, who, despite being a brilliant sharpshooter, performed a phenomenal feat. He stepped back behind the three-point line and sent the ball into the basket. Which moment did you find the most epic? Write it in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be waiting for you next time.